future of Notting Hill Carnival could be in doubt without urgent funding from the government. Its organisers said in a letter leaked to BBC, Carnival Chair Ian Comfort has written to the Culture Secretary Lisa Nandy to request the funding, which he said was essential to safeguarding the future and public safety of this iconic event. It follows a review of the festival, which attracts about 2 million people over the August bank holiday weekend, which identified critical public safety concerns that needed additional funding to address, the letter said. The Department for Culture, Media and Sport said it would respond to the letter in due course. The Met Police's Assistant Commissioner, Matt Twist, previously raised concerns of a mass casualty event due to crowd density. The independent safety review was commissioned by the carnival's organisers and paid for at a cost of £100,000 by the Greater London Authority, Kensington and Chelsea and Westminster Council. The safety review's full findings and recommendations have not been made public. In the leaked letter, Mr. Comfort...
Right, man.
Why you say Noble, sorry?
Pardon myself. That is a rich borough, in it? Kensington and Chelsea.
Yeah, man. Man. Money
borough. Yeah.
Money place, Noble. In the leaked letter, Mr. Comfort also referred to a separate report by the London Assembly. He said that this study, published in April, highlighted the increasing strain placed on the Metropolitan Police during large-scale public events. Limited resourcing has restricted the police service's ability to respond to growing operational pressures, Mr. Comfort said in the letter. He added that the increased investment in stewarding and crowd management was now essential to allow the police to focus on their primary role of crime prevention and public protection. Mr. Comfort wrote that failure to secure immediate additional funding risk compromising public safety and jeopardizing the future of the carnival. He did not put a number on the funding needed. We're not even going to say nothing else. We don't need no more of that.
Sounds similar to Brum.
Yeah, man. So, all right, that's where we're going to start with. So, people, Brum Carnival.
Come on.
Now, let's break something down before we get into the London side of things. We are the second city in the UK.
Come on.
It doesn't matter what our landmarks or the state of our city, people. We're the second city. We're only 2 hours from London. We are the second city. Okay, we have a lot of people here. We're the second city. However, we failed to raise funding for our carnival. And this is really what a community, or how a community shows their power.
Come on.
A community does not show its power by marching or none of that. There's two ways a community shows their power. A, financially, meaning that community is financially organized, meaning that community can raise finances. That's one part of a community being powerful. Number two is a community to get on code and sign petitions. A petition is only taken serious when it reaches 100,000 signatures. I can tell you that personally. So there was a time a few years ago where there was a little petition that had been put together, and the petition was about making it less difficult for Jamaicans to get into the UK. And in order for it to have been heard in Parliament, we needed 100,000 signatures, and it didn't even reach 10,000. So it's a joke. If you can't get that amount of signatures, then your community is not really powerful. Now, based on Brum Carnival, we couldn't raise the money, and in turn, we've lost the carnival. And this is why I say to folks, that when we big up criminals and we put power in criminals' hands and we make out like these people are some sort of advocates for our community, they're damaging it in the long run, because those foolish acts that took place in Notting Hill last year are the reason for the comments that we just read out, because now it becomes a safety concern and we need this and we need that and we need this. And if we can't raise the money, we've got an event, what 2 million people go through? 2 million people, meaning, you know how much money is out that day?
On the table.
You know how much money is being generated? You know how much money is being generated for? Just
people
for
are conversation's out of their house.
Yeah, facts. For conversation's sake, an industrial park. If you got an industrial park in your area, people, that may have a few warehouses, a man can run a business based off of that business. Let me explain to you. A hot dog stand or a burger stand can set up on that pitch, and it's supply and demand, where if a man's fed up at a canteen, he can say, I'm going to go and check that stand. And the people them who run the business will charge that stand rent because they know there are people who need lunch. That lunch money may be worth $5 a day. That $5 a day might be times by 50 people, times by 5 days a week, times by 20 days a month. That's where a business supports a business. Now, Notting Hill Carnival has 2 million people that travel through. That's 2 million people that are off work for that day. Yeah. That's 2 million people that are out over bank holiday. That's 2 million people who are out to spend money. There shouldn't even be a conversation about raising funds for this. There shouldn't even be a conversation about this, because what the carnival represents is a significant amount of money being brought by the Caribbean culture into London. If mans can't raise the funds for this, it shouldn't happen. I'm saying it straight, Noble. If mans can't independently raise the funds for this, and this is why I say there should be a zero tolerance approach to any little scumbags that are carrying knives and all that in these places. Now Scotland Yard, and when I say Scotland Yard, I just mean police when I say that. But now Scotland Yard are able to say, if you mans can't raise the funding, it's in jeopardy when you got 2 million man walking through. Now let's compare it to our Indian counterparts that are in the UK.
Yeah.
They have an event in the same Handsworth Park where we used to have Carnival.
Yes.
This event is some sort of celebration of, is it Sikhism, Noble, or something like that?
Yeah,
it's a Sikh thing, yeah. That is packed every year, and it's self-funded.
Self-funded, yeah.
Now I'm not saying they do have some of it. They do have some issues there, but they bring their own money to the event to where it's impossible for the people them to stop their thing. Whereas we now, not only are we not raising the money for our event, we're begging them, yo, can we tap in the cultural minister and all of this? We don't need no cultural minister if 2 million people are passing through this place. What cultural
flying
minister?
In as well.
Yeah.
As well, Mark. They're flying in from different countries, man. You know what I mean? From all the continental Europe, from the Caribbean, Africa. Yeah, I mean, Africa's more involved in the carnival now these days, aren't they?
Facts, because facts.
So this is it's an interesting scenario because we've got a mixture of diaspora, Caribbeans, and you know, it's a big mix. Africa, all of the different countries, coming over, and we can't have that force to collectively say, yo, this is the flex. This is how we're going to maintain the thing. Obviously, we want some support. You know what I mean? We want some support from the two richest boroughs down there. I mean, this shouldn't even be a question. Outside of the additional support required, of course, they should be saying, yeah. It shouldn't be 100% because we're fractured. We're fractured as a people, and we know why. I don't need to go down the reasons of that. That's why, as our East Indian Sikh brethren, they got their thing, you know, outside of colonialism. That's the only thing, and that's if that's in their mind. But they can still collectively come together, pool that money, and say, yo, this is the event. We're blocking off the whole of Smedic High Street, and we're going to have our little thing going on there.
There's no way London should be struggling for money. Aisha, same talk every year about the carnival. There needs to be more police presence to de-escalate violence, but I don't see any more crime at carnival than any other event. Aisha, Black Brits should fund carnival ourselves, so we're not at the government's mercy. Not being able to raise the funds is an indictment on the Caribbean community. Facts. The fact man can't raise the funds, and this is even a headline, is concerning. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with just. It's concerning because I understand little carnivals around the country being locked off, but not London. This is something that, like Noble said, major artists come for. People travel all over the world to come to this event. If mans can't find the money to keep this thing going. That's very telling. That's very telling. So for me, if mans can't fund this thing, lock it off. I hear what you're saying, no, but those boroughs should be able to piss up the wall and find that money. But they don't care. It's not their thing. They're saying, why should we find it? I remember that's why the headlines are. Remember what we said on the show last year? That's why those headlines are pushed. Man, woman killed at carnival.
Yeah.
If you look at the headlines, it's for a reason, so they can say, lock it off. You get me?
And they're giving them the reasons to put those headlines. This is what I mean, man. I know people are young and stuff, and they're doing crazy stuff, but you can't be that flipping thick to think that you can go to a major event and do those kind of things without multiple ripple effects and repercussions take place, and not just affecting you selfish little so and so's, man. It's unbelievable at this point. Yo, Carnival's on. But you know what? It's going down. That's something. Let's not go there because we might end up with linking them people. Isn't that common sense? Well, no, let me rephrase that. Isn't that sense? Okay, on this particular 2 days, there's police and there's gonna be a whole heap of people. I'm staying away from all there because if I see so and so, it's on and popping. Yeah. And if it's on and popping, I want to make sure I can get away at least for, blah, 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 whatever. But now they're like, yeah, forget it. It's, thou will be the whole of the law. My life means nothing. Everyone else's life means nothing. I'm just going to go out and do a mazza. Let's just get rid of these people, man. Listen, you see these people that point at them, man, throw flipping apples and pears at them, throw paint on them, hot water. Let's make these people a scourge of the damn industry, man. If you have business establishments and these people come in, tell them to F off, lock the door on them, don't let them in.
Zero tolerance.
Call the police. Get them out of here, man. We don't need no people like that around.
Because think about it, no, but a man, remember the feeling, remember the dark clouds that a man are bringing to an event like that. A man got there with all his youth, and you're going there. If you've got something in your pocket, prepared to do something. You see what I'm saying? You've got something in your pocket, go in there saying, yo, if something pops off, I've got this. To where a man's probably there just waiting for something to happen.
Just waiting.
Just waiting for, boom, this happened. Yo, I'm going to kill, man. Wait, I'm going to do this. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem.
Versus if a man does something, one punch knockout or 2-piece combo and he's done. That was the old school thing. Like, if a man says anything, I'm giving a couple elbows and a knee and he's done for the night. That's it. I ain't thinking about, I'm going to carry a bladed article or a kosh with me or a disc with me. Why would you need to do that? Why? Like, so you go into it, like, the only problem, you go into it like an area like from back in the day, you go to like Wheelie Castle. I always bring this up. Wheelie Castle, Northfield and all that. There wasn't many of our people up them sides. So you knew that it might be on and popping with them NFUs and all that. So, but generally, again, we're not walking around with no. We were just like, if we're going to check so-and-so up there, at least make sure there's 3 men with you. Because if we're on the bus and them people there, we're going to get down and we're going to rumble and thing in it. But fast forward, man's that weak and wicked that I'm going to think crazy anime kind of things offline and this and that. Walk around with them and try and, like, it's medieval times. I commented on a post a couple of weeks back with these idiots, these little rabid animals running around in a high street, swinging long, I would say almost a foot long thing, swinging around like I don't know, like they're D'Artagnan and the 3 Musketeers. And this is a cartoon, not real life. This is how they were acting. And there were people, there was pushchairs and everything. I'm like, how have we got here? Like, how have we really got to this point? And the solutions, as you don't know, in my pledge for Prime Minister of the UK, we know how to get rid of this. It's the most sensical thing as well.
It's easy. Even this year, there will be people who go there carrying these kind of items. And I'm saying you have to make that decision sometimes as a person. Do I want to go somewhere where that is a possibility? Like, so let's say you're someone like me who's got children. Let's say I bring my daughter and my son there now, and they happen to see a stabbing. I've now traumatized them to the point where that's going to stay with them. They've seen skin. Boss, I'm the kind of man, though, but like, if I go somewhere, I'm looking at, it might be a bit of PTSD, but I'm looking at how quick can I exit this environment?
No, that's called doing a risk assessment, Mark.
Yeah, that's how I look at things. If I'm going somewhere, I'm looking at, let's say I go to an enclosed space.
Come on.
I'm looking at what's the fastest way I can get out of here.
I'm glad you said this, Mark. No, it's the truth. And he said everybody needs to think along those lines. Yeah. If you're entering, especially you're entering a new establishment, clock what's going on. I've come through this entrance. That's an exit there. Oh, that's there. Peep it, man, because anything can happen. Anything can pop off. And we're talking violence at the moment, but we could be talking earthquake, flipping hurricane. Anything can happen, Mark.
Yeah, man. How you move now, you've got to move very smart, because you could be somewhere, anywhere where there's a large group of people is a threat in my eyes right now.
Facts.
Shout out Western. That would be way too logical, Noble. Ben, big up Ben. I'm conflicted with Carnival now due to the violence. Facts. BT1, in an open event like that, anyone can bring anything. The police can't control it. Yeah, that's a fact. They can't control anything. And with imbeciles running around with heat and all kind of knives and all of that, you're inviting, there's a feeling that's there. It's
present. It is a gift. We, by bringing ourselves to people's places, to events and all that, it is a gift. So don't just be gifting yourself and your presence in places where it should be and it's not warranted, because your life and your presence is way too precious to be mixing up in a muck and the mire.
Exactly. And there's crash outs that will be in the building. There'll be crash outs in the building that will be like, if I see my man, I'm gonna slide. If I've said that in the right context. So for me, sad title, but I agree, man. The violence, even one act of violence is one too much. And, it needs to be addressed. But if man can't raise the funds, then it shouldn't happen. I'm gonna stand on it.
I agreed. I don't promote violence, but look, if someone wants to have a fight, they can have a fight with no weaponry. You know what I mean? All day, every day, consenting, no rushing business. That's how it should be.
People, I hope you enjoyed that clip. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to watch the stream in full, consider becoming a Patreon or joining our YouTube members. And don't forget to hit the like button, folks, and we'll see you in the next one.